Okay, so the Teapot Egg is a freebie egg here in Wonderland. Just wander around and eventually you'll run into one. See, I found one there. You'll probably see a whole bunch of them throughout the level. It's definitely a freebie egg. Even after you get it, you'll still probably see a bunch of them lying around in different places, and they can be in all sorts of locations. So if you just wander around Wonderland, you will eventually find the Teapot Egg. Okay, in order to get the Goodnight Egg, you start out in Wonderland, and then you climb up this big tree like you did when you were trying to invite Petey, the guest. So you bounce up there, and instead of going up that ramp, you turn around, and then you take a left, and then you see this little teleporter here that will send you to Merlin's Swamp. You turn around, and you see that sign, and then you just head in that direction where there's a bunch of rocks over there, and then there's this little Knight Egg who will charge at you, and then as he charges at you, you get out of the way, and then you just jump on his head, and you gotta keep doing that like 3 or 4 times. But if somebody else jumps on them, they're going to get the egg, so it's kind of going to be people in the server competing for it. So once you are the person who hits them last, you will get the Goodnight Egg. Okay, the Egg of Well is in Wonderland. If you take a left, as soon as you spawn, you'll see this big well. And around the well, you might find 1 or 2 eggs, but most of them you're going to find over by where the houses are. And as you can see here, it's kind of a little bit of a walk from where the well is. So if you kind of go towards where you spawned and then just kind of hug the right of the wall, then you'll find yourself to those houses. And you just need to get 3 coins. So this is the 3rd coin. Found that one over in the houses as well. We're going to bring this one over to the well. And then once you put all 3 of those coins inside of the well, then you can see here, you will get awarded with the Egg of Well is what you get. So you find the Egg of Well, and it's a pretty cool looking egg. And the well will change colors each time you put one of those coins in there. Okay, the Painted Rose Egg, as soon as you spawn, just go to the left and keep running because you're going to go to this little maze, this big grass maze here. There's lots of stuff in there that you do, but we're going to talk about what you're supposed to do to get this egg in particular. I've got a crowbar now as a part of trying to get Insanely Luke out to invite him to the party, so I got that too. And then also there's the croquet, but after you get the croquet, just go out of there and then stay to the right, and then you will find this opening where you talk to the King of Hearts, and he basically needs your help finishing up painting these roses. So he gives you 10 tomatoes, and you've got this little thing that's moving kind of weird. So just wait and don't click until the target is actually on the thing that you're trying to paint. It should be pretty easy. You just have to be patient with the moving target because it kind of wiggles a little bit, and then you'll get the Painted Rose Egg as soon as you are done with that. Okay, we're going to show you guys how to get the Yolker Egg here in Wonderland. So go in the tree in the middle and then climb up to the top. You can basically just keep hopping on the mushrooms, go around, find those mushrooms, get up to the top. You'll eventually get to a level where you'll find a ramp, and then you can go up the ramp, and that's where you talk to Petey to invite him. But across the other side, if you jump over here, double jump and then leap, and then you can get onto this branch. Basically, there's other ways to get up here too. You can just get up to this area, but get to the top where there's a wagon here, and then you go in there, and there's basically, it's a hidden egg thing. You're going to have to watch the cups, and as the cups move around, just make sure you pay attention to the right egg, because if you get the wrong one like I just did there, then you're going to have to start all over. So you get the right one 3 times in a row, and then after you get it 3 times in a row, you will be awarded with the Yolker Egg that looks exactly like that jester dude who's back behind the egg. So there's the Yolker Egg. Pretty easy to get, but you just got to make sure you keep your eye on the appropriate cup. To get the Alligator Egg, first you have to teleport to Merlin's Swamp from Wonderland. So you go into Wonderland, and then that big tree in the middle, we've been here before. So we go into the middle of the tree, we climb up to the top as far as we can. Looks like my character fell there just a little bit, so we're going to try to climb to the top. Look for those mushrooms, and find the mushrooms and use those to bounce a little bit higher to the next level. And basically try to follow this path and get to the top. Once you're up there, see this little ramp where you would go up there, then you want to come down the ramp and take a left and a left to hit that. And then so the Alligator Egg is going to spawn in a bunch of different locations. Just I recommend just kind of work yourself around the map. It may pop up in the middle of the swamp somewhere. Usually I tend to see it in the swamp somewhere, but after you get it, it's another one of those free eggs that you'll end up seeing around in other places. So just keep walking around. As you can see, I haven't found it yet, but eventually try to look out as far as possible and see the egg. You'll just find it in one spot. There's so many different spots that it actually spawns, so just keep walking around and you will find it. In order to get the Dreggon or the Dreggon Egg, first you start in Wonderland Grove, and then you climb up that big tree. As always, we're going to head to this little teleport here around the corner. You climb up the tree, bounce on these little mushrooms to try to get up to the top, And this is the teleporter that we've used many times before. It just goes around this corner. Follow this path. Then you get taken to this place called Merlin's Swamp. Once you're in Merlin's Swamp, you just climb up to the top. There's this big tower. You actually don't have to go and talk to Merlin before, but basically he says that you need to collect 5 pieces of armor, which are laid around the map, and there are 5 different places, and we will show you exactly where those pieces of armor are held. The first one here is down below this tower. There's a little swamp underneath, and then there's a little opening, and then you get the helmet right there. And then follow this path and we will show you basically how to get all of the pieces of armor. I think there's, what, 6 or 7 pieces total that you have to get. So let's see, over here along the end, see this is where you battled that thing. In the stone walls, you can find a piece of armor in there. Okay, now up along this rock cliff, you want to crawl to the top, go through this hole, take a left, and then you will find the gloves right over there. Then across this bridge, find these bushes here on the right, and you will find the boots here hidden in those bushes. Now what you're trying to do is go and find the waterfall. So the waterfall, if you go along, is over here off to the left. Now there's some things that you got to do. Basically, you press that button when you first get in there. It opens one drawbridge, then you come in here, press another button, opens another drawbridge. Then you go across to the other side, push another button, opens the final drawbridge. Now you have to go over to this last area and get the sword. Now you have to play a mini game. You have to go back and forth, basically pressing A and D on your keyboard. So A and then D and A and D, A and D. And you want to keep that little line there within within that whole space. Otherwise, and you want to keep it green for 5 seconds. So you got to keep doing that. And then when you're done with that, you get the Excalibur sword, and that will be on your back. So now you just want to walk outside of this little area and then hug the left side of the map and just stay left, and then you will find the chest armor right there. So now that you've got all 6 pieces of the armor, you want to go back to the middle where Merlin was. So just make your way to the middle. Don't want to hit the water because the water will actually harm you. So go to the top and then talk to Merlin. And now after you talk to Merlin, it's going to be time to battle against a dragon. You may have to wait a little bit. But after you wait and you're the first person, when it says dragon ready there in the sign, go talk to Merlin and the dragon is ready for battle. He's recovered from his last battle. So you go to click on to battle, and then what you're supposed to do here once you start battling him is you want to stand on the little ledges over here. Let him finish with his breathing of fire, and then after he finishes breathing fire, then you go and you stand on him, and then you press the A button. You go there, you stand on him, you press the A button. You got to keep doing it a couple times. It's hard to really tell if you're doing any damage to him at all, so just keep doing that. Stand on these ledges, let him breathe his fire, don't get hit by the fire, stand on him, press A, and then eventually, or click on the trigger. It depends on if you're on computer or Xbox or what. But then eventually, when you're done, you just keep going back and forth and doing that. Don't get hit by his fire. Stand on and press A, and then you'll get the Dreggon Egg as a part of this event. Okay, so to get the treasured egg of Wonderland, where you start off, first all you have to do is, before you talk to any of the guests, you have to go and find the queen. She's in the tree, and then you go and talk to her, and then she basically tells you that she's having a party, and you have to invite everybody. Grab the pepper next to the table, and then head up here, and then feed it to the pig, and then someone will come out, now do the Harlem Shake. You've invited him, and then you go over around here, and let's see, I'm just picking up coins and putting them in the well. That's part of another egg that we'll do a video for. But then around the other side there is this guy, Builder Boy. You invite him, and then Beism is over here. She asks you a question. The answer is pink. So the pink fountain is in the other place. Now we're going across the map to a slightly different area. Future website owner, he's just kind of along the perimeter there. You want to invite him. And let's see, yeah, we got Beism. There's this other guy at this pink house around all the houses, Outro. You got to get him. Let's see, go up here to this house as well, and this guy's locked inside. There's a key around the side of his house. You have to grab the key and then let Bill Thomas out, and then you can invite him to the party. And then there's a crowbar in another house right next to it. So you grab that crowbar, and then across the map way, just stick to the left. And if you keep going, hugging the left, you'll find the maze here along the perimeter. You go in the maze, and you're trying to find Insanely Luke so that you can let him out. So just follow where I am here. Around from the corner from those arches. So if you've got the crowbar, you can let him out and you can invite Insanely Luke. Now you want to go to the croquet game and talk to Be Slick Music. Then you have to play a croquet game. You've got 12 hits and you have to go in 6 of these things. Sometimes the ball seems to stick, so you may have to try this a couple times. Just try to avoid like hitting any of the hoops or any of the other balls or hitting the wall, because then the ball might stick a little bit and then you'll have to kind of start over again. But if you have to start over again, just press the B button and quit if your ball's not moving and try it again. It's good to just kind of be pretty quick, and if you kind of shoot while the ball's moving, you're okay. And then you invite those 3 people after that. There's another mini game inside the maze, but we're going to do that in another video for the rows. And then you want to get out of the maze around this corner here. So now that you're outside of the maze, over by close to where Gert is, you head up this archway. See this little shrub right here? You want to grab that shrub, but then you want to go back to the party and you want to make yourself small. You have to be small. There's 2 people that you have to be small in order to invite. So you want to kind of look for, see that checkered pattern? There's this thing that sort of looks like a checkered pattern and a little hallway that you'll get to. It's like, it's not that one, it's not this one. Also, moving around when you're really small is kind of a pain. You move around really slow, so just kind of jump and leap and try to get as far as you can. Okay, let's see. Alright, so this little cave over here with these lights dangling, there's a little area in here. You want to go in there and then go to the back. And then in the back, whoop, make sure you don't drop your shrubbery or you're going to have to go and come back. Give it to this little worm thing, and then you can invite Iuzi over to the party as well. And then you invite Iuzi to the party. There is also, while you're small, go to the, just get out of this little tiny town area again that you're in, and go find where the houses are. And amongst the houses, try to keep your eyes open for a small well. So there's one of these houses that has a really small door and has a really small well next to it. As you can see, I'm bouncing around, trying pretty hard to find it, but eventually you'll find it if you keep hopping around and you're in this house area. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. There it is. So see this well? You want to go in this house and you want to invite this person, Algie Lacey. So after you invite that person, you can actually go and find one of those little small cupcakes, and you can use that to make yourself big again. There's one over here by this house, because when you're big, it's a lot easier to move around. So we've got a few more people to invite. Go in the big tree in the middle, and then keep climbing around and bounce up. You can basically follow what I'm doing. See these little mushrooms? They help you bounce, so jump on those and get up higher and higher, and then find this ramp and go up this ramp, and then you'll see PDK 473 over there at the top of that. Okay, now you're gonna come back down. Let's see, and then this guy, Busy City guy, he's again kind of just chilling there out in the perimeter. Then find this waterfall and then invite Woot 3, and that's it. After you've invited all 15 people, go back to the queen over here and then talk to her, and she will give you the treasure egg of Wonderland.